Hello everyone, welcome to Samiksha Academy. Let's read today's newspaper. First, see the headline: Bangladesh National held for attack on Saif, Mumbai police. So, how they caught this individual? See here, on the basis of tracking their UPI ID. So, when he purchased a paratha and a water bottle, so on the basis of which they tracked him and eventually caught this individual. And here, this is the most important one. Today, Trump will be taking oath as the President of United States of America. In this context, five key areas on which we have to pay focus, right? So just pay attention. We will be having a look at those. What are those five areas, sir? And before that, just see the headline. After Santos invite 121 farmers and fast sit-in plan deferred. What we can get from this issue, whenever this kind of protest happens, we just need to tap for what purpose. For long these people are asking for legality of minimum mm, support price for agricultural produce, right? So with respect to Indian agriculture, especially with respect to that pre-harvesting thing, right? What kind of challenges farmers are facing? So there are two, sorry, post-harvesting, with respect to accessing to market. Agriculture means pre-harvesting and post-harvesting. Pre-harvesting means how to harvest, like how to get the crop. Post-harvesting, how to sell the crop. So in that context, just see this, tap the issue. Even Supreme Court also has to intervene here. Next, so this is important one. See here from the past few days, it is coming in the news. Rajouri village in Jammu, they are facing with some mysterious deaths. Till date, the death toll is 17 members, right? So the major reason they are thinking like the reason can be, though it's not yet fully conclusive, it can be because of the water taken from the local spring, right? So they found that this water contains some pesticides because in their postmortem report they found some neurotoxins, but still it's a mystery. And this is important. What are the five key takeaways of this Trump's oath? What we can get? So one definitely will be on this one. What is that? The issue of immigration. So immigration will be a challenge. So he on like because when they fought the election, they heavily fought against this particular policy. So how Trump will be looking towards immigration? We have to wait and see. Next one will be wide range of tariffs. Earlier also during his first stint as the president, that time also we used to see about this tariff wars. So by using this tariff, he actually wants to set a kind of trade-off with his European partners, right? So why we should allow all the other products for a lower tariff when we are selling our products, why they should be at the higher price? So in that context, again, this will be one issue. And the third issue will be dismantling of the this green agenda. He will be similar to earlier, he will be more pro towards US energy sector, especially hydrocarbons and nuclear. So in this context, with respect to India also, we may have positive side with respect to nuclear energy, right? So he will because he felt like earlier Biden administration focused much on this climate related talks, thereby it is hampering American economic growth, especially that energy sector, right? Another one will be downsizing this US spending, especially government downsizing. As you all know, Trump is an equivalent of Ronald Reagan. That's what we used to call this a neo-Reaganism. So what Ronald Reagan also that time he like that those days he used to be famous for this NPM agenda. That means right now our present Prime Minister also says minimum government, maximum governance. So they want to reduce the size of the government. They want to give more chance to the private players. That's so right now it is also evident with Trump already inducting two individuals, Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk, as the Department of Government Efficiency advisors. They both are business persons. So more favor towards business, right? They want to reduce the governmental expenditure. And another one will be this American deterrence, military deterrence. So his focus will definitely more on how to further strengthen America. And some critics used to say less than globalism. That means earlier, we if the, wherever if any issue happens, America used to go and have its presence. Trump's argument is that why to waste our resources? We will be utilizing wherever required, but this kind of globalism may be reduced. So these are the five key takeaways from this particular article. This one regarding the legal guarantee for minimum support price, I already highlighted. We just discussed that. Next, here I couldn't find much to discuss. Even here too. Noida man charged to death outside ex-girlfriend's wedding venue. Tragic. 17-year-old boy stabbed to death by three minors over personal enmity. Whenever we come across minor related violence, we need to pay attention because that's not good for the society. Again, see here, dark web drug cartel arrested, weed worth 2.1 crore seized, says cops. So what is the key point here? How these drug peddlers using the dark web, especially the what we call blockchain technology, to deal with these kind of issue, like to trade, right? So dark web, it is always a puzzle. So that is one thing. You can see why I highlighted this. Caste and polls. What candidates list of three major parties reveal? Because Delhi is going for elections. So in this context, just have a look at the social dynamics here. Like how many candidates from which particular caste got more number of the contested seats. See here, if you see upper caste population here, they mention Brahmins, Rajputs, Vaishyas, and Punjabi Khatris. Who gave how much? AAP gave how much? 48%, BJP and LS 45, Congress 35. Just to know about how political parties are functioning. So that's the reason I just want to pay attention here. Right. So again, here the major point is in poll bound Delhi, rural joblessness, education. So these two are again see wherever employment, health, education, and employment. These three core issues will always be there as an election agenda. Next, here not much. Yeah, see here, this is important. Whenever Prime Minister comes to Man Ki Baat, pay attention to the areas on which he will focus. This will be useful in the context of essays, even in the context of GS ethics answers. You can use them as case studies. Understood that? So if required, if you can just tap it. See here, in this recent Man Ki Baat address, he mentioned easy used. He talked about this Indian democracy, especially in the context of election commission. Election commission used technology to strengthen people's power, committed to fair polls. Okay, so he's a prime minister always used to talk about his mother of democracy. So Indian democracy is mother of democracy. So we have very strong ancient roots for that. So in that context, because here I just want to mention about this Man Ki Baat thing because it will be useful in the context of exam. Okay. And next, see here, the reason why I highlighted Ranjan Gogoi here, UCC is important steps for national integration. He gave a speech. In this speech, he highlighted some areas, right? So for your convenience, I highlighted the core points here. He is in favor of UCC. So his main argument is that we need one nation, one particular civil law. Okay, to streamline, especially with respect to marriage and inheritance. Okay. And second point he mentioned, this is he mentioned with respect to number of judges. His main point, his thing is when he retired as a Supreme Court judge, that as the Chief Justice of India, that time there were 3 crores pending. Right now in the Indian judicial system, there are 5 crore cases pending, and the judicial strength is right now just only 24,000 members. So he wants that number to be increased to 1 lakh. Increase the number of judges to 1 lakh, right? It helps in reducing the pendency of cases. His another suggestion is give importance to segregate the cases. If there are a lot many cases where the person's already died, right? So give importance to those cases that are like much in substance. So that is his one more point. So with respect to this one nation one election also, his point is like we need to support it. As you all know, he will be definitely supporting government initiatives because he is he is in favor of the present government, so we can expect. But some of the points he mentioned, we must try to understand. It's not like because he is supporting present government, whatever he says cannot be considered as valid. It is nothing like that. Whenever an eminent personality speaks out something, we need to pay attention towards it. Next, this is again important. After electoral bond ban, Supreme Court recently banned these electoral bonds because there is a lot of vagueness in it. We cannot find who are the users, and most of the individuals who are donating are high net worth individuals. As you know, more than 60% of the electoral bond value is of 1 crore. That means who are donating, mostly the donations are coming through corporates. Understood. And there is a lot of anonymity. So it hampers the free and fair elections. That is one of the salient features of the Indian constitution. Understood. To have to strengthen the democracy. So in that reason, electoral bonds were banned. Now most of the funding happening through electoral trust. What is the difference between bond and trust? So when it comes to electoral bonds, there will be anonymity. At the same time, if you want to donate 100 crore, this 100 crore can be donated by n number of individuals. Even 50 individuals also can donate. But in the case of electoral trust, only the trust will be donating here. That means one trust to political party. So clearly we will be coming to know to this political party A which trust is donating. Understood. You will be coming to know the details of the who are the people donating through the trust. Because if any corporate house or anybody, if they want to donate to political party, establish a trust. Through the trust you can donate. So there will be more transparency in the electoral trust process comparing with electoral bonds. So that's the reason. Now it is a good initiative you can consider, important in the context of exam. See here, Rajnath, POK crown jewel of India. All right. So just to highlight. Next, see here, accused was fired from pub. That means this individual is having past records of theft and suspicion. IIT Madras director praises medicinal value of cow urine. There is a debate regarding this. Some people who are promoting this rationality, arguing that it's a pseudoscientific practice. This happened in Chennai. See this one, 7 dead in suspected huge case. Why I highlighted this? This is a quite common problem, right? In Bihar, in most number of times we will be seeing this particular issue, huge tragedy, right? In Tamil Nadu also we have seen this, but when it comes to Bihar, most number of times I am seeing it from past many years. Understood. So whenever government goes for this ban of alcohol, these cases are further increasing. So in this context, I just highlighted that headline. Again, this one also the reason why I highlighted. See this, it is about the religious practice. Son barred from burying pastor's body in Bastar village moves Supreme Court after High Court junks plea. Here the major point is this individual is practicing Christianity and the locals are opposing it. Right. This individual's argument is that they even went to the extent of social boycotting their family. Understood. So it is violation of my fundamental rights, right to profess, practice, and propagate my religion. So here it is about Christianity versus local communities in the Bastar village. So for long, there is a kind of churn happening there with respect to this conversion. So in that context, you have to see this, right? Individual religion versus conversion debate. Some are arguing that there is a forcible conversion of people. Some are arguing we are converting on a voluntary basis. So the debate is going on. In that context, I feel this issue is important. So that's the reason I highlighted. See, this is with respect to Razkar case. As you all know, today court will be pronouncing the final judgment about this individual, the individual who involved in the brutal rape and death of the doctor, right? But what caught here is the civic volunteer system, because this individual was appointed in that hospital as a civic volunteer. So the government, the West Bengal government's argument here is that the voluntary system is good because they are here to support the administration. Understood that. So they will be there. We have different departments for that. These volunteers are providing the assistance. So that is about the system. See this one again, this is important. Trump and tragedy. So, as Trump will becoming the next president, let's have a look at what Biden did. When it comes to Biden's track record, critics' main argument is he leaned very much towards the West, heavily supporting this climate change related talks, right? Talking less about immigration, though immigration is a challenge for America. Understood that. So that's the criticism. That's the reason he lost some of the traditional support, and he got deeply hurt when he was Democrats stopped giving support for his presidential ship for the upcoming election. Instead of him, they made Kamala Harris as the presidential candidate, right? So at the same time, chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan, weakening deterrence of Europe, failure to pursue Israel. So, with respect to Afghanistan, with respect to Europe, and with respect to Israel, that means the West Asia, right? To an extent, he couldn't administer well, or he couldn't deal the problems well. However, with respect to Asia, people are arguing that he succeeded very much. For example, strengthening relationship with India, right? And especially Quad was taken to summit level. There will be frequent meetings. So Quad means the quadrilateral alliance among the four countries: USA, India, Australia, and Japan. So this got further strengthened. We also came up with this critical and emerging technology initiative for cooperation on critical and emerging technologies. Right. So this initiative started. At the same time, this AUKUS, Australia, UK, and US, they formed a, well, it's a kind of a nuclear with respect nuclear powered submarines. So further they formed AUKUS. So they got he got some good points. So overall, if you see in certain areas, Trump performed well. In some other areas, especially with respect to Afghanistan, Europe, and Israel-Hamas issue, while dealing with Benjamin Netanyahu, somehow he couldn't dealt well. So this is what this particular article talks about. So on the other side, we just discussed, as Trump is coming by, as Trump will be taking oath today. In this context, we also discussed the areas now Trump will be focusing. Right. Next, see this. A higher bar. Supreme Court does well to underline need to restrain in case of abatement of suicide. Day before yesterday, we discussed about this article. Right? Abatement of suicide. Abatement of suicide means if any individual commits suicide, right? Because of whom this individual is committing suicide. So usually what's happening, if any individual commits suicide, unfortunately, right? If leading to death, in that case, if the individual writes any letter, immediately police will be going and arresting the individual. Understood? So Supreme Court here is arguing that you have to pay some caution here. See the data, as according to the NCRB, National Crime Records Bureau data, the conviction rate here is how much it is? 17.5%. That means out of 100 individuals who are getting arrested because on the basis of this abatement of suicide, are being the reason for suicide, in simple terms. So the conviction rate is only 17.5. That means out of 100 individuals, only 17 individuals are getting convicted. Okay. Whereas in the case of cognizable offenses means where even without warrant, you can be arrested. For example, vandalizing properties, right? If you vandalize a property in any government hospital, it's a cognizable offense, right? So without a warrant, police can come and arrest you. There, the conviction rate is quite high. See here, the rate they mentioned around 54%. So in other words, the conviction rate is quite less with respect to abatement of suicide. So the police must have a caution when it comes to arresting individuals if they find any reason. That's about this. Next, see this one. A restricted upward mobility. This is with respect to uh, Indian economy, right? So what are the issues the Indian economy is facing in this context? This particular article was written. So this scholar's main point here is, right, okay, now the government may blame RBI because of the weakening of rupee. Okay, and his another main point here is there is a structural problem why we can have less growth or the growth that is not inclusive. The reason here is initially we got, especially post COVID, we got the growth, right? But because of this global capacity center, especially in the service sector, we got the growth. There is no doubt. But this growth came from high skilled workers. So it's not fully inclusive. So that's his main point. That's why very limited upward mobility. Those people who are highly skilled, they only able to tap the they able to provide the boost for the growth. But still, when it comes to employment, most of the employment in India right now is the self-employment, right? And most of the self-employment is either less or unpaid work. For example, the domestic work, most of it is unpaid, right? So that's what even the EPFO data also says. So the main point here is, in the coming future, again, through this article, what we can understand, the focus must be on enhancing the skills of the individuals with respect to their education, right? Both the primary level and the higher level. Focus should be on education, focus should be on health, right? So that is about this article. We see with respect to Ashok Gulati, as I already told, with respect, whenever we come across agriculture, just tap about this individual so that you will be getting some insights. Again, here his core argument is, he will always be arguing that if you want to make agricultural sector competitive, right, rather than focusing much on competitive populism like giving free food, free power, high subsidized thing, focus on agricultural technologies. So focus on how to improve crop efficiency, right? Diversify the crops. You are giving MSP, but most of the MSP is going for rice and wheat. We have 23 MSP crops, right? So for how many crops we are giving MSP, right? See, if you're really giving, if MSP is really supporting, then why we are importing pulses? Why we are importing oil? You know, more than 50% of our oil production we are actually importing. We are importing from Southeast Asia. We are importing the pulses, very much required for the nutrition. So that's his core arguments will always be, right? So next, so this is about the Israel-Hamas peace deal. This whole thing. So, okay, TikTok set to return as Trump says will stall ban. So, we have to wait and see. You can see this one. Security transaction tax collection sees a jump. So, that means when STT, security transaction tax. So, what is STT? If you are selling or purchasing any of the securities in the stock market, so there will be certain amount of tax you have to pay to the government. If it is increasing, it indicates that more amount of transactions happening, the sector is growing. So that's what we have to understand from this headline. Next, see this one. Invest in agriculture productivity, boost consumption demand, focus on public health, and strengthen tax administration. So these are the four key takeaways for this budget. So that's about this Bharat Ram Swami's point here, right? So both are all are valid. So if you really want to see increasing aggregate demand, that means increasing growth in the country, focus on agriculture productivity, right? Boost consumption demand, focus on public health, strengthen tax administration. Next, see this one. Hindenburg's Nate Anderson under cloud for sharing report with hedge fund. So here the core point is short selling. What is short selling? I think you know about short selling, right? In simple terms, you are an individual A, right? You are holding some 10 shares. Okay. You are holding some 10 shares. So what this suppose for example, this S is a short seller. What the short sellers will do? They will borrow your shares. See, they will borrow. They will not purchase. They will just borrow your share, right? And they will be telling you that after 10 days, for this so and so interest, I will be giving back your shares. So they will be doing business with your shares. How they do the business? First, they will borrow your shares, they will keep with them, then they will release the report. They will be having some hidden information that they will release to the market. Drastically, the prices will reduce. So then you may think if the prices gets reduced, how can you expect that your share value will increase. So these people know that now the share prices will reduce, but drastically reduce. Then after few days, slowly the prices will increase. Then these people will sell. Understood that? So here they didn't purchase the your shares from you because now suddenly the share prices will increase. Then these people will sell it. So in between, these people will make the money. Understood. So this is how short selling work. Anyhow, he closed it. There are other short sells also, but this is about as we the issue came up, so we just discussed. So again, this is we discussed about the abetment of suicide. If possible, just remember this case, M. Mohan versus the state case. There, the Supreme Court said you must be cautious. Right. The same also upholded way back in 2019 in Uday Singh versus state of Haryana. Remember at least one case. So maybe useful in the context of mains. Next, this we already discussed. So this is important as a fact. The shortest inaugural, because why this happened? Why this inaugural happened? That too in flight. The only inaugural of American president, the only oath taking of American president happened in flight. How? Because that time JFK was shot dead. So if a president shot dead, immediately the vice president, wherever he or she is, will become the president. So there, that time during the time of JFK's tenure, JF Kennedy's tenure, this Lyndon Johnson was the vice president. So suddenly, when he was in flight, when the death happened, he he was taken oath as the president. Understood. So that's why in-flight oath taking happened, and that too the shortest inaugural. That's the reason. See here, this is one I highlighted how U.S. president will take oath. Similar to Indian one, the Chief Justice of the American Supreme Court will take oath. So how the president will take oath? Since 1884, they're following the same continuity. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of President of United States and will do the best of my ability to preserve and protect and defend the Constitution of United States. Right? So the oath taking thing. Then this is important. In the recent past, we are seeing olive ridley turtles, right? They are washing. Most of the dead carcasses are washing. They're washing onto the shores of Tamil Nadu beaches, especially the Madras beach. So what's happening, right? So the feature here, olive ridley. See the point I mentioned. Olive ridley turtles have to swim to the surface to breathe, right? They have to swim to the surface. They will be coming to the surface, right, to take the air. During this time, right, they are being trapped in the fishing nets. In the surrounding area, if there are more fishes, these turtles also they are omnivores. They will eat the fish, so they will be coming to have the fish. Meanwhile, these fishermen, while catching the fish, along with that, these turtles also being trapped in that. When a turtle gets trapped, if it can't come to the surface, it will get suffocated, asphyxia, lack of taking breath. So because of that asphyxiation, so they are dying. So this is one of the reasons they mention, right? That's what they mention. A large availability of fish close to the turtle gathering areas. Because of the large availability of fish, fishermen will be going there to catch the fish. See, that's what they mention. Since turtles are omnivores, they might feed on fish in areas where fishing vessels operate. Post-mortem showcases suffocation. Okay. Where mostly we will be seeing these turtles in Odisha's Gahirmate and Rushikulya. So along with Odisha coast, we will be also seeing them in the coast of Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Okay. But majorly mostly we will be seeing them as along the Odisha in that Gahirmate and Rushikulya beaches. So they will be coming to the shore. There they will just dig the sand. There they will be nesting the eggs. But sometimes because if there is a heavy human presence, what now these officials are doing, they are coming up with the hatcheries. They will be taking those eggs and they are putting in the hatcheries. Once the turtle comes out of it, they are releasing it to the sea. So that's how we are dealing with the turtles. So in the context of prelims, especially in the environment, it is important. So have a look at it. Next is sports. See here, Neeraj Chopra got married to tennis player Himani. That's it for the day, right? Thank you.